We celebrate our nation, our future, Uganda, and believe in the beautiful game of football in Uganda. We believe in our mother body. Fufa, Fufa. When the boys and girls aspire to become stars, of the Uganda queens and the crested queens and the sun queens. Come on, our fans, our gallant fans, our sponsors, our dear government to support the beautiful game. One tribe, one family, one religion, one nation. It is our game, it's our country, it's our joy, it's our nation. The past and present stars, the fallen and living heroes, the coaches and referees, the players and the officials make this game. One tribe, one family, one religion, one nation. It is our game, it's our country, it's our joy, it's our nation.
Hello, a very fantastic evening to you viewers. Wherever you're catching the signals or the airwaves of Satellite TV from, I would like to say thank you so much for always being hooked to Satellite TV. This is the biggest TV that we do have got in West Nile and the biggest TV that we do have got in Rural City when it comes to giving you the sports update. My name is Snr GEROH, the host of the show. This is whereby I'll be taking you into details of what is transpiring. Remember, it's the transfer period here in Uganda and clubs are making signings, and I'll be giving you much of the transfers today, much of the transfers right from West Nile to Uganda. Then from Uganda, that's when I'll be crossing borders and I'll talk about international transfer. Remember, Arsenal with Victor Gyökeres, they were beaten by a goal to nil, and local back home here, a big guy in the names of Innocent Media, together with Mustafa Chiza, have all been unveiled at NEC Football Club. I can tell you, this is the breaking news that I can give you, and all this is what I will be looking into that. You remember, Innocent Media has been playing down in Italy in a club called Calcio Lucera. This is where Innocent Media has been playing his trade in. And finally, here comes an opportunity for him. And leaving Italy side, and you come and play in Uganda in a team in the names of NEC Football Club is one thing that we shall be looking into nitty-gritty there. Internationally, Alexander Isak left Newcastle United and he is training currently in Spain, where he played before in a team called Real Sociedad. The details about that I'll give you shortly after here, and then Benjamin Sesko says he is ready to play for Manchester United without European affairs or nights. So all this is what actually we'll be looking into nitty-gritty in here. You remember, this show is probably sponsored by Sabiri Rama Global Ventures Limited in there. They are the biggest and the sole sponsor of this show, whereby they give you a lot of services. When you talk of bids, when you talk of supply of goods, there you will be sorted with Sabirima Global Ventures Limited. Remember, They can as well do for you constructions. They can do for you what you call evaluating your company. These are the services that Sabirima Global Ventures normally does, and they are the reasons. That's why you see me here dressing very well. You see me having the energy. You see me having a lot of things here in the studios. This is the biggest company powering us here at Sunrise TV. We are so glad of them, and equally, we are so glad that you guys are giving us the mileage. You guys are giving us the company. The viewership is something that we can't leave you guys minus appreciating. It's massive. I can tell you, it's massive. The number that is following this show globally, I'm telling you, it's really very massive. Then those who are cutting out right from the diaspora, I would like to say thank you so much for us being with Sunrise TV. My good friend Noble, you are in Dubai. Thank you so much. The director of Alfred, who are in Kampala, thank you so much. Likes of Nico down in Italy. Yes, he works with 1xBet. He is one of my biggest friends, and he always inquires more about Ugandan football. If you didn't know, I'm one of the insiders in Ugandan football. When it comes to giving information outside the country, I'm one of the insiders, and he is always matched with the other. That's Nico down in Italy. Sante is down in Juba City. Thank you so much. Those who are catching us from Kenya, Tanzania, Algeria, Nigeria, you guys, I'm so humbled that you guys are giving us the mileage, and it's the biggest evening sports desk here in West Nile and in Arua in particular, and the biggest TV that always gives you the best in there. Let's pick it from here, and we talk about a number of players. Yesterday I talked about one of the players in the names of Toha Rashid. Remember, his contract with Police FC that plays Detroit in Kenyan Football League has come to an end, and he is no more with the team of Police FC, and he is set to actually look for a better date somewhere that Toha Rashid for you. I won't talk about his future anymore, because yesterday I talked about himself into details. Today, let me first talk about a player in the names of Snr GEROH, who has been one of the fast rising players, and he has kind of made himself to be one of the biggest players to talk about in West Nile and for South Sudan at large. Remember, he has actually shifted his allegiance to play for South Sudan due to limited actual game time here in Uganda. This is a player who raised to the occasion when he was still playing down in Koboko. And then from there, he switched the legacy and started playing for Ondupraka Football Club. And then after Ondupraka Football Club, things never actually clicked very well. Big opportunities came in for him. He toured Uganda when it comes to football. And the biggest one for him is now with NEC Football Club. Remember, at NEC Football Club, Snr GEROH is having only 4 months remaining on his contract. Then, if you look at the team that NEC kind of unveiled today, you really see that Snr GEROH actually faces were not even there. But there were other couple of youngsters within West Nile who were in that list of players who were unveiled. What does this one mean for Snr GEROH? Yes, he still have got 4 months contract remaining with the NEC Football Club. But I think at NEC Football Club, he has been shown that love. Of course, Dudu Bosco is in that team of NEC Football Club. That love is there for him. I expect a player in the names of Snr GEROH to pen to paper again on a 2 years contract with NEC Football Club. That's a tell for you. Remember, he is really someone who is really very, very actually polite in there, and what he offers on the pitch, you really appreciate actually what he does on the pitch. Very perfect. When it comes to game reading, very excellent in there. One-on-one situations, that's when you need a player of his caliber. Many people thought Toha Rashid's actually signing for Ondupraka Football Club, for Arua Hill Sports Club, was down to Snr GEROH's efforts. Remember, he does the donic work perfectly, and at NEC Football Club, I think the reward is going to be for him. I'm quite sure NEC is going to renew his contract. Probably playing for South Sudan national team, that's when I needed to have a game in, game out. I'm quite sure. Much as South Sudan won't be playing in what we call the TAN tournament, that's set to kick off very soon. And this is now an opportunity for him to revive back his form and ensure that he plays his A game for South Sudan national team. And for NEC Football Club, remember, NEC has been a dominant side last season in the Southern Uganda Premier League. And with the acquisition of new proven players on board, that really tells you that NEC is here for the challenge. Those who think NEC is here, actually to see that they are here just to give the minds that of Ugandan football, I'm telling you, you're doubting your credentials. NEC is here for a challenge. Dudu Bosco and Ocean Balangu in that team of NEC Football Club, these guys are doing something very, very amazing. And NEC, with the acquisition of Mustafa Chiza, one of the most respected actually left backs in Uganda, they unveiled him officially today. Remember, he played against Al-Merrikh of South Sudan in that goalless draw. He was in that team that played that friendly match yesterday, but NEC officially unveiled him today. But the biggest is NEC also unveiled a player in the names of Innocent Media. But let me go one by one out of this players because they all do come from West Nile, and we need to give some sense about this. Of course, let me begin from the perspective of Innocent Media. Of course, this is our agenda on our timeline. Remember, Innocent Media, by the time when he was still playing within West Nile, remember, he started actually his footballing career down in Koboko with Koboko Rising Stars. That's when Dudu Bosco, together with other sporting agents in West Nile, started looking at the greatness of this boy. And at Koboko Rising Stars, he established himself to be one of the biggest players. He was scoring those goals so far in the regional league for Koboko Rising Stars. And his performance down in that team of Koboko Rising Stars was very immense. And from there, remember, Dudu Bosco was still at the helm of Arua Hill Sports Club. And as the technical director, before he was fired, remember, he doesn't click well with some individuals in that team of Arua Hill Sports Club way back. I don't want to mention the individuals here, but that's the reality. And then from there, Innocent Media was signed to play for Arua Hill Junior team. And for the Arua Hill Junior team, he picked it from where he left after for Koboko Rising Stars. He never stopped scoring. He kept his foot running, and in the junior team under the stewards of Onama Bosco, the guy was firing goals for fun. He was checking all the cylinders. That's Innocent Media for you. And then, after that, Dudu Bosco, with his good relationship with him, with his good relationship with the family, looked for an opportunity for this guy, and he crossed over to go and play in Italy. That's Italy Serie C. Remember, that's like the regional league of Ugandan football, the third tier. That's where you get the promotion, and then go and play in the big league. That's where this guy, after Arua Hill, he crossed over. Before he crossed over to Calcio Lucera down in Italy, there were fracas in his move. There were a lot of hatreds. I can tell you, Dudu Bosco was hated for that. Bulgaria as well was hated for that. Of course, there were some football mafias who wanted to actually get some deal after this guy's services. They never wanted to release that, this guy to go out because they thought that he was in the system of Arua Hill. Of course, they wanted to get some percentage out of his move. And his contract with Arua Hill Sports Club by then got done. So this prompted a lot of anger. This prompted actually Innocent Media to write a letter up to FUFA. And then he said he wants to sue Arua Hill. Then Arua Hill knew about the legalities about this. They had to lead this guy. Then from there, he went to Italy. Then in Italy, Innocent Media continues to sign. And in that team, he has been scoring those goals for fun. He never disappoints the fans of Lucera down in Italy. His love is really something that caught the attention of the Italians. And for Lucera, he scores one of the best goals. That's Innocent Media for you. And what he does is worth appreciating. But Dudu Bosco being one of the insiders who speaks for him. And remember, his contract with Lucera got done. And those guys were willing to renew his contract. So by the time when they wanted to renew his contract, Innocent Media was already here in the country. And it does a matter of copying his signature and paste it there. Remember, Club Lucera managed to give him a 1-year contract. This is where the contract comes in. Innocent media was here in the country, they scanned his signature, then they renewed his contract that side. Now, here comes the opportunity. When he came here into the country, he was training with the NEC Football Club. Remember, I talked about Dudu Bosco, who is at the helm of NEC Football Club. Because of that relationship, Innocent media had to put pen to paper with this contract, with NEC Football Club. And this is now a contradicting thing. Innocent media leaving a lucrative deal up in Europe, come down to the country. This is where you'll be playing in the Uganda Premier League, you'll be playing at the Uganda Cup. You see? And NEC Football Club for the first time will be playing in what we call a CAF Confederation Cup. This is the first that the club will be doing in their history. And Innocent media is equal in that team. That team of NEC has got a couple of players. Ibrahim. Now, many people call him Ibra. He was at the helm of Leo Football Club. He switched allegiance to Arua Hill. From Arua Hill, he went to Ondopraka. From Ondopraka, he went to Mbarara. From Mbarara, that's when he crossed over to the team of NEC. He is there. That's Ibra for you. A very young prospect to watch in West Nile. And Innocent media is already part of that project already. Still very young, 18 years old. I think he has matured somehow. And if you look at his body language, will he get the opportunity for NEC Football Club is the $1 million question that I thought this guy has taken a rash decision of playing for NEC Football Club for now. Of course, I thought being at that age, next year has got other interesting, ghost squads actually at their helm. Can Dudu Bosco and Hussein Baham trust this guy to lead the lines for them? Is the $1 million question that everyone will be asking. I don't think that he will be a regular starter for NEC Football Club. If they sign him to be someone who will come in that team, probably come from the bench and make an impact, yes, it can work for them. Are they going to sign him and play for the junior team? Of course, FIFA has said that every club in Uganda needs to have a junior team. Maybe that's the reason as to why NEC signed him. But I thought if Innocent media really wanted to actually up his game, if he really wanted to cement his actually game level, the perfect one was to be for him to play in Italy, down in Lucera. That's when big clubs can come for him at ease. Of course, the scouting level in Europe is kind of elite compared to the one of Uganda. Of course, in Uganda, it's down to mafias. I can tell you that. It's down to mafias. So, Innocent media finally pen contract with the NEC Football Club is the $1 million question that everyone is asking. And it's something that's caught my attention because in Europe, and then you come back to Africa. Of course, we've seen a couple of players coming in here. Classio Richard didn't say that didn't say anything that we're not going to renew his, they were willing to renew his contract, but he opted to come back to Uganda, which means there's something fishy. And the deal that he has got with NEC is something that I thought is overappreciated because NEC is one of the biggest clubs in the country, one of the NGO clubs. They have got their support already, and with the Dudu Bosco, who's driving an expensive car, I can tell you, Dudu Bosco and his team of NEC, these guys are ripping big when it comes to business. And Dudu Bosco, in terms of talent development, in terms of talent identification, he's always very actually elite in that. And wish him the best. That's a player in the names of Innocent media at NEC. NEC have played a couple of players, and among them was Innocent media. That's the biggest that actually caught my attention. Let's talk about the one that actually they unveiled today officially. But on the pictorials, Innocent media was there. That's the evidence. I can tell you, it is an evidence that we have got. And you never got this information anywhere. This way you can get the first-hand information. Let's talk about Mustafa Chiza before we talk about the CHAN preparation for Uganda. Of course, there were ticket allocations, there were traffic issues that has been already revealed already. For those who are watching our live from Kampala, or those who are actually willing to go for these games, I'll be telling you some details about that actually at a later time. But let's first talk about this. A player in the name of Mustafa Chiza, who plays for Western Province, has been unveiled by a team in the names of NEC Football Club. And this is where NEC plays their trade at what we call Logogo, MTN Omondi Stadium, Logogo, whereby KCCA also plays their home games. And remember, Mustafa Chiza has been at the ranks of KCCA since his actual game development. And he's one of the products of Mike Hillary Mutebe at KCCA. And he'll be playing against KCCA in this. Remember, he has played a couple of games. I remember him scoring his first debut for KCCA against Police Football Club way back in 2017. That is Mustafa Chiza for one of the biggest games, a goal that I can't actually forget at ease. That's Mustafa Chiza for you. Remember, with his left foot, that guy is amazing to watch. And there's been that kind of contradiction that can they play together with a player in the names of Okota at the same team. Remember, these are Western areas and they have been so influential for Western Province team. They clicked very well under the Dubosco when Western won actually the FIFA Drama actually tournament. You see, these guys clicked very well. And here comes down the perfect opportunity for him. Remember, he has played for KTCA, he had a stint with S-Place Football Club, and finally, he has pen to paper now to a new club in the names of NEC. Remember, this guy in the names of Mustafa Kiza, you can call him Kiza because in Western the answer is kind of different, but in Kambala they call him Chiza. You understand? So, what he does best is his work rate is one of the biggest things that you can't leave behind. That's a player in the names of Mustafa Chiza. His work rate is really very immense. When it comes to offensive movement, that's when you like to see a player in the caliber of Mustafa Chiza. Many can actually see that this guy, the way how he has transformed so quick in Ghana football, is something that is worth appreciating. There are limited number of players, or actually left back or wing backs in Ghana football who actually raised it to the occasion of to touch that far like him. Of course, you can talk about the likes of Okocha. That's the only player that I rate him. And this guy, I don't know why he has not been summoned into the national team of Uganda. Of course, what he offers is really very immense. But I thought this is an opportunity for this guy to be a regular call-up into the national team. If not even a first timer or as a first team setter, he can be given that priority to actually come from the bench. He has got those attributes for him. We have seen the wingers of Ghana Prince failing to deliver crosses, failing to make actually an impact. This guy is someone who can offer that one perfect for you. Much as he plays left back, that's his preferred position. But I think he can offer that one perfectly. And he can easily play in any formation. He can play back three. He can even play back five. Back four, he's perfect in the darts. That's the Mustafa Kiza for you. But I think Hussein Balanko at NEC Football Club will benefit a lot from this guy. Remember, he is one of the set piece specialists. When it comes to set pieces, his left foot is genius, and that one is one of the biggest things that I think NEC will be benefiting a lot actually from his services. Remember, he has got that experience already, and like I said earlier on, they will be playing in actually a continental showpiece. Let's first talk about his football journey. I won't talk much about his football journey in Uganda. Of course, I mentioned about Express, KTC, and then NEC already. Let's first look at what he offered for one of the biggest clubs in America in the names of Montreal Impact. Remember, this guy, when his contract with KTC was nearly done, KTC had to offer him to Montreal Impact. And his move to that club saw him signing a 3 years contract with Montreal Impact. And in that team, he signed 2 years contract. And in the first season, things worked well for him. Then, in the second season, his contract got terminated. The team said, we are not going to allow you to play for us anymore. I don't know whether his demands were so much. I don't know whether it was down to his behaviors, but Montreal Impact had to turn actually his conduct down. That's Mustafa Chiza for you. Then after that, Mustafa Chiza had to go to Portugal in a team in the names of Arauca. Remember, Arauca, by then, that was way back in 2022. And in that, he played one of the crucial games for them. And remember, Arauca was playing in the top tier of La Liga down in Portugal. And he also played his trade. Then with that, he signs a 3-year contract. He never lasted for long down in Portugal. And then from there, his contract also got terminated once again. Then, from there, he never sat down. He kept looking for clubs. His agents kept looking for clubs. He went to Egypt and he played for a club in the names of Telecom, Egypt Sports Club. Remember, in that team, he only had half a season, and again things never clicked very well for him. He had to come back, and luckily enough, he has now got a new home in the name of Chistara Football Club. That's the biggest that I thought I can offer for you about Mustafa Chiza. He is really an amazing player, and with his experience of playing continental football, I think NEC will benefit a lot from him. Of course, he has got the maturity already, and he has got that big influence in the team when it comes to uniting players, when it comes to fighting hard to see that we really needed to win games, we really need to win trophies. Of course, he is more of a serial winner in Ugandan football. That's a player in the names of Mustafa Chiza for you, and we are yet going to see how he will be making amends for a team in the names of Chistara Football Club. Very, very good player in there, and I'm really so humble that he has finally got a new club. And at NEC, let's hope that the injuries won't hit him so much in there, and we shall be proud to see him back and play for Western Province alongside the likes of innocent medias of this world, alongside players like Gaddafi Wahab, players like a couple of them, Farhad Bayos of this world. So it will really be something amazing to watch for Western Province. Let's talk about the CHAN preparations in Uganda. Remember, it has been reported today that the traffic, how people would be moving in Kampala, has been already allocated or is informed already. And this has been confirmed by the traffic police spokesperson in the names of Michael Kananura. He said that people would be moving in Kampala based on where players will be training, whereby in areas where players are going to the to the training ground, in areas where players are going to the pitch, that's when you won't see much traffic, and that road will be reserved only for players and the delegation. So let's look at the areas that has been allocated here. It has been earmarked that Kampala Entebbe Expressway and Northern Bypass and several other key junctions such as Mulago, Boisia, and then Nalia. These are areas that are going to be traffic free, and traffic will not be all that much in that area. Of course, that's when you'll be having officials, then other delegates using that road to avoid derailments of games. And roads leading to stadiums like Mantela National Stadium, Nampole, then the training grounds, Wankulkoku, Kadiba, Chiambago, will see traffic adjustments in there. And then on match days, that's when you see Nambole from midday. Traffic will be diverted away from the city routes, which means people will be important to use areas like Gayaza. People will be important to use areas like Mokono, Kalangi. This is for those who are willing to go for these games in Kampala, or those who are going to be watching these games Even if you're coming from Western, then you're going to that side. Or if you're coming from abroad, then this is the direct that you have to follow, and the traffic has to be free. Remember, there are a lot of restrictions here. The southern play wing at Nambole will be reserved only for VIP accredited vehicles. If you think that you'll be going there, you'll be parking your vehicle on the southern wing of Nampole, my friend, you'll be charged. That's one of the letters that I can give you. You'll be charged. And fans without official vehicle stickers will be parking outside Nampole. If you go there without your stickers, you'll be charged. That's one of the biggest things. And remember, Chan kicks off officially on 2nd of August, and it will open in Tanzania with the first game of Uganda taking place on Monday 4th. That's the brief that I can give you about the traffic guidelines that have been earmarked or revealed to us already. And I think I have informed you about that already. Let's talk about the ticketing price. How you'll be important to access these tickets. One, you'll be accessing these tickets via digital connections. If you don't have digital ways of getting this ticket, my friend, you won't get tickets at Nampole. It's down to the CAF regulations to avoid issues of corruption, to avoid issues of max fiction. You'll be buying these tickets online. And the way how you can get this has been through a website. It's called cafonline.com. You go to www.cafonline.com. That's when you can be the person to get the tickets. And the pricing for these tickets are not all that much in there. To our Ugandan standards, we have watched games here at Ababe Guruna Stadium at 10,000. So that is the ordinary ticket that you can buy. And then the silver ticket is at 30,000 Ugandan shillings. That one I can be in position to sponsor around 5 people per match. I can sponsor that 30,000. That's silver. Then premium goes at 50 shillings. That's something that is worth appreciating. And I thought CAF itself understood the level of the poverty in Uganda, and they wanted to give back to the people of Uganda. Always, the government also, plus the FUFA, with the tough economy that our country is going through, much as we have been regarded in that middle setup of income level. I'm telling you, the pricing has been moderate to our Ugandan standards, and I'm quite sure the crowd at Nampole is going to be massive to see that these games are going to be covered actually extensively in there. You can also purchase your tickets via MTN Momo, Airtel Money, Visa, MasterCard, and e-tickets. Then SMS will be actually one of the ways to see that you can equally access via email, or actually you can even get that. That's when you can be important to watch these games. And one of the biggest is the pricing. To me is really something that I thought is worth appreciating by the CAF itself, the body which has allocated the money. I think this is fair. Everyone can be important to access this, and this is where Uganda will be important to see that Ugandans will be important to see that they really needed to support the home team. That's Uganda Prince. But I think Uganda are going into this game with a lot of pressure for now because they're playing at home soil. The pressure is on Uganda. Leave it alone in other countries like Niger, South Africa, Guinea, and then Algeria. The pressure is on Uganda because they are playing at their home soil. They want to deliver. The pressure is really on Uganda. Can they make amends? Can they make us proud? Is the million-dollar question. I'm telling you, Uganda, I don't see them going past the group stages. Of course, the pressure is there on them. And Fredim Humza and Molly Buego, so if they don't propel this team to some extent, I'm telling you, the criticism is going to come for them. Of course, they were the ones who summoned the final squad for Uganda Cranes. These are the players that they thought have got the experience and they can be in position to offer something very tangible for Uganda. Remember, this is a tournament all organized for homegrown players, players who play their trade in their own league in the country. And we are yet going to see how these guys will be important to assemble this team of Ghana Cranes. But I'm expecting, that's according to me, Uganda won't go past the group stages. I'm telling you. Of course, matches they have actually have got a lot of preparations, yes. If the motivation is not there for them, if they don't actually have that zeal of playing for the birds, that's when trouble is going to come for Uganda Cranes. Let's talk about international football and talk about Alexander Isak. Before I talk about that, let's talk about Arsenal Football Club. They had a game today against a team in the names of Arsenal had a game against Spurs, and in that team, David Raya, as usual, much as he has been regarded the best goalkeeper Arsenal Football Club last season. Remember, he has got that actual mentality with him of moving outside the goalpost, and that was the same thing that costed him today against Spurs. Sorry, 45 yards. That's when a player in the name of David Raya was outside from the goalpost, 45 yards. David Raya for you. He came out, and where Sar tapped that ball in, he can't believe it. He can't. And that means Arsenal Football Club were beaten in the first North Lantern derby outside Europe. That was the first one. I can tell you it was the first derby being played outside the country in England, and Spurs won the bragging rights. And when you look at the individual brilliance of some of the players at Arsenal, Arsenal played, yes, they really played, but the opportunities were not there for them. They only had two opportunities. Saliba had one. He couldn't tap it at the back of the net. There was one that was missed by, I think, Odegaard, or he played in the names of Trossard. That was a missed opportunity. Those were the two live opportunities that I thought Arsenal was going to come back into this game. But things never really clicked very well for them. But with the solid defensive step of our Spurs, they were really very, very, very aggressive defensively. Pedro Porro, I'm telling you, this is a player. Watch out for him next year in the Premier League. He is a consistent performer for Team Tottenham Hotspurs. And what he offered for Tottenham Hotspurs today against Arsenal Football Club tells you that he is destined for bigger opportunities outside Spurs. I'm telling you, this guy won't last more than 3 years at Spurs. Of course, big clubs will come and sign him. Of course, what he's offering for Spurs, I'm telling you, is really something that we need to appreciate. And this is still pre-season game, and you can't talk much about this. And they are really after setting up their team. And Victor Gyökeres was given his actual first Arsenal debut, and he came into the 77 minutes, and he only played 13 minutes into this game, and he was not all that lively enough into that game for a team in the names of Arsenal in there. But Arsenal Football Club really played well. That's the reality. And the Masqueras of this world, the likes of Christian Nogard, were into that team. I think Arsenal just have to do what we call they really needed to reserve for that team once again. Mikel Arteta had got a lot of work to do on whom to start. Of course, the likes of Luis Kelly were there, the likes of Bukayo Saka of this world. You see, Arsenal Football Club, they are a team that looks ambitious, yes. But sometimes when that ambitious is too much, that's when things will never click very well for him. Always for you. And with what I witnessed today, I think there is a lot of fighting within the players. Mikel Arteta need to sit down with these players, talk to them, and look into how he can be in a position to assemble a very good team with Arsenal the squad is really very young, and Nuno Madueke never made his debut in this game. So the next game that Arsenal will be playing, expect Nuno Madueke to be in the team of Arsenal Football Club. Really amazing player to watch. One of the players that is kind of so much positive for Arsenal Football Club is playing the names of Max Darwin. He's a very young guy, 15 years old. He has got that glimpses of Sandy Cazorla in him. Those who watch Sandy Cazorla playing for Arsenal Football Club, I'm telling you, that's what that guy offers. He can hold for you the ball. He can run with the ball. He has got that speed. I can tell you. He has got that visionary with him. Can Mikel Arteta be in position to cross this guy and keep him after at Arsenal and give him the priority to start up in that first team after the setup of Arsenal Football Club? Of course, we have seen a couple of these after youngsters coming up at Arsenal Football Club, but at the end of the day, Mikel Arteta doesn't trust them, gives them away. One of them is Heaven, who has crossed over to Manchester United, and Ruben Amorim is trusting this guy. I'm telling you, this guy will be a regular starter for Manchester United next season. That's heaven for you. He has established himself in the pre-season. He's doing that, and in the later set of the games last season, he was given the priority. Then Chido Obi Martin is another player that Arsenal actually released away. The likes of Rich Nelson, the likes of Smith Roy, Mikel Arteta with his projects of not giving the priority for the youngsters. He's not trusting them. That is what is affecting Manchester City for now. Of course, he mostly released 40, even 60% of his academic growth to Chelsea Football Club. And they're working very well for Chelsea. Why can't Mikel Arteta trust these youngsters and see that they build a formidable team? When your senior players are not doing the best, bring on the youngsters. They can come and make amends for you. We've seen the likes of Jano Jazz for Manchester United come into the board, the Elliots of this world, the Phil Fodens of this world, the McCarthy's of this world for Manchester City. Honestly, Mikel Arteta, if he doesn't trust the youngsters, I'm telling you, things are going to be worse for him. Of course, they have now signed a sporting director in the names of Andrea Bata, who wanted to see results coming in. Of course, Arsenal has been there for all these years, dominating, finishing in seconds, giving hard times for Chelsea, giving hard times for Liverpool, Manchester City, and with the big spending that Liverpool is having for now, with Rodri coming back from Manchester City, Mikel Arteta, be careful. Otherwise, Manchester UNOB of Arsenal Football Club, don't say I'm biased about Arsenal, but I just felt like he has done a lot for Arsenal Football Club. He really needed to win silverware for Arsenal for now, because what he has offered for Arsenal Football currently is only the FA Cup that he won. Much as a coach in the names of Unai Emery was at the helm of Arsenal, he was not trusted. This guy was going to offer something good for Arsenal Football. He was not trusted. And they have not trusted an OB of theirs, Mikel Arteta, who was down in just number 8 for Arsenal Football Club before. That switch from Everton to Arsenal. You see, this guy really needed to be watched seriously, and they really needed to give him a target like what Manchester United has offered for Ruben Amorim at Old Trafford. That's something that I thought I really need to talk about this. Mikel Arteta, if he doesn't win a silverware with Arsenal Football Club this season, whether it be in the UEFA Champions League, whether it be in the Premier League, the FA, the Carabao Cup, fire him. He's doing nothing. Matters he's entertaining the fans. For how long will you entertain the fans with the money that you have spent so far in the transfer market, bringing in a number of players, over 200 million plus, and you're still searching for more signings? Mikel Arteta, be careful. That's according to me at Arsenal Football Club. Let's talk about Manchester United. The biggest is all about their pre-season tour in US. Manchester United is extremely doing quite well so far. Out of 5 games in line for them to play in the pre-season training, they've so far played 3. They're left with 2 games. And the Premier League is set to start just very soon, in 3 weeks' time, in the kick-off on the 15th of August. And their first game was against Leeds United, whereby a certain awful Manchester United played a goalless draw with Leeds United. Matheus Cunha made his debut in that, and he was lively. And in that, they never scored. Amadi Diallo was in that, they never scored. The opportunities were there for Manchester United. That creativity is already coming from Manchester United in the pre-season training. So, the second game they played was against West Ham United, who is there at the helms of Graham Potter. Remember, one of the hardest coaches in England right now, who gives a lot of hard time for big teams, is Graham Potter's West Ham United. And Manchester United managed to beat them by 2-1. They are always conceding. Against West Ham, they conceded 1. Against the team, the name is Bournemouth. Antoine Ariola also spoke something about Manchester United. They also scored an OD through Matheus Delete. United is a team, I'm telling you, keep an eye on. And Ruben Amorim, with the trust that he's having on his players, with the dressing room factor that he is kind of addressed to some extent, there are players who already appreciating him for what he's doing. There are big coaches who already appreciated him. There are legends who already appreciated him. One of the legends is Rio Ferdinand. Even Jose Felix Mourinho, who has caught Manchester United, he said that he was not given the priority at United. But they have entrusted this guy. Much as Louis van Gaal criticized what he's offered at United, that's Amorim for you. The likes of Paul Scholes coming on light to appreciate what this guy is doing for United is something that I thought Ruben Amorim need to be given flowers. Remember, United hierarchy has given him that priority that he needs to finish in European nights position. Below top 6, that's for Ruben Amorim at United. If he doesn't finish below top 6, expect Manchester United to have one-on-one challenges with Ruben Amorim. And with the signings that he has got, these are the priorities that he felt like he needed to sign them. One of them is a player in the names of Matheus Cunha, Mbeyamo. He signed a youngster in the names of Diego Leon, who had got a good assist in their win against West Ham United. He earned a respect from a player in the names of Manuel Ugarte, appreciating him for the cross that he actually offered in that game against West Ham, Bournemouth. You see, Ruben Amorim is trying to come up with something very special at United. Let's talk about the wing backs that actually Ruben Amorim prefers playing. Last season, he signed a player in the names of Patrick Doku from Italian Serie A, a club in the names of Lecce. In his first season for Manchester United, the opening game, he looks lively. But at some point, adaptability in the English Premier League was kind of something that kind of caught his attention. And he was not actually doing the best. A couple of Manchester United fans were criticizing him. That's playing the names of Patrick Doku. But I can tell you, this guy has got the glimpses of doing something very talented for United. Let's talk about Luke Shaw. He said Ruben Amorim has done something very actually tremendous for United. Clearing the dead wolves at United is something that he thinks is worth appreciating actually for Ruben Amorim. And with the project that he's having, he thinks they are here for something very special actually at United, that they really want to come back to Limelight. They wanted to see the dream lights of Old Trafford at the theatre of dreams come true. That's Luke Shaw for you. Can they make it this time around without playing in European nights? They just be playing centrally in England. Domestic football is what United be playing. And with the signings and with the priorities that he has set in, I think this guy is here to do something this soon. Coaches needed to give him. Coaches needed to watch him seriously. Players needed to master his style of play. Coaches needed to master his style of play because we have seen him giving hard times for giant clubs. It's only that moderate teams or teams of small advantage, or you can call it club that has got that small setters have given him hard times. Teams like Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Brighton, these are the teams that gave Ruben Amorim hard times in there. But can he come back and see that he assembles a very good team at United? Is the million-dollar question that I thought everyone should be asking. And there is already a statement coming in from Manchester United fans saying that Ruben Amorim needs to trust Tom Heaton, who has started all the three pre-season games for them. Of course, he has actually made a couple of interesting saves. Against Leeds United, he made that. Brighton, West Ham United, he made that. And then against a team in the names of Bournemouth, the guy was really amazing. He is very old, of course, but age is just a mere number for goalkeepers. Goalkeepers can even play up to 40 years. We have seen Manuel Neuer of this world playing actually to some extent. The Donnarummas of this world, they are still playing Manchester United. If they want to have something very special, they really need to give priority to this guy. Of course, we have seen Andre Onana making silly mistakes for United. He is not all that confident enough in that when he makes mistakes, he comes out boldly to say that he will improve. But again, he said last season was the season where he was going to take risks. Is Andre Onana up on for risk again this season? I think the Manchester United fans are going to be so serious about this, and they want to see their team come back to the glory days. That's Manchester United for you. And the priority has been given to them already. A player in the names of Benjamin Sesko says that he is willing to play for Manchester United. Matches they will not be playing in Europe. He is ready to play for Manchester United. That's Benjamin Sesko. But there are a couple of other strikers that Manchester United talked about. They were talked about playing the names of Nicholas Jackson of Chelsea Football Club, but I don't think Manchester United would be important to sign this guy. Of course, they were talked about playing the names of Ollie Watkins. I don't think Team Aston Villa would be important to let this guy go. This guy is going to be there at Aston Villa, and he wants actually to see that Aston Villa make amends in the European night. They'll be playing in the Europa League. Coming into that team of United, the project does not need a player in the names of Ollie Watkins. Rasmus Holland says he wants to stay at United and he wants to fight for his position. And Ruben Amorim said that he doesn't know whether he can still be part of the project. It is kind of contradicting, but it looks like this guy is going to stay put with Manchester United once again. Of course, he is still very young. That's a player in the names of Rasmus Holland for you. He was one of the elite actual strikers that everyone thought was going to be a big one for Manchester United. Everyone compared him to Haaland of Manchester City when he actually switched that move from Atalanta to United. Rasmus Holland for you. But his season with Manchester United last season was kind of awful. But he is really a hard-working player. It's only that tapping that ball at the back of the net is the biggest talent for him. That's the reason as to why Ruben Amorim taught this guy game in the game, and he wants to see this guy improve. Victor Gyökeres was not actually adapting so quick with the philosophy of Ruben Amorim at Sporting CP. He was given that playing time, game in, game out. That's how he managed to actually establish himself to be a proven striker. That's why everyone is talking about him in the world. And I'm quite sure with the style of play, with the confidence that Rasmus Holland has, he is not all that injury prone. He will, I think, work very well for United. And the project is still, the project is real. And he's someone who is not all that indisciplined. That's Rasmus Holland for you. Matthias, he's not scoring those goals, but I think this guy, one day, one time, he'll come back to light and he'll do something very tangible for United. If I'm to be Ruben Amorim, I'll keep this guy hold at United. I won't send him away. Joshua Zirkzee is in there. But the style of play doesn't fit Joshua Zirkzee. He best fits at Arsenal. He best fits at Manchester City. That's always at Barcelona. That's Joshua Zirkzee for tic-tac. He doesn't hold the ball. When you give him the ball, he passes it out. That's when you'll see Manchester United going forward. And Benjamin Sesko, still 22 years old, and he has been one of the biggest players everyone is talking about in Europe. Liverpool talked about him, Arsenal talked about him, and here comes an opportunity for Manchester United. And other people are saying that if Manchester United is serious for him, the Manchester United should give around 70 million pounds. And last week, team Arab Leipzig did say that if Manchester United is serious, 60 million pounds they can easily accept for his services. But I think a player of his caliber, with the number of games that are played in England, the first thing for him is just to come and adapt. That's why I'm saying Manchester United needs to keep hold of a player in the names of Rasmus Haaland at Old Trafford. Of course, if I wanted to establish a project, keep your old guys at the hook. They will do something very tangible for you. And this guy, both of them will keep on learning. Of course, you can't rely on one striker in a league. That's much physical. A league that's much that has got a lot of injury concerns. With one striker, you won't live to the building. That is the reason as to why Liverpool is trying to go for Alexander Isak next to Hugo Ekitike. That's why they have got a youngster in the name of Rio Ngumoha. A project that I think Liverpool is up for. So, I think I've talked about Arsenal, talked about Manchester United. Let me jump to Liverpool. And at Liverpool, the latest we're getting indicates that Alexander Isak is already training with his parent club, where he was signed before Newcastle signed him. He was actually playing for Real Sociedad down in Spanish La Liga. And the Magpies, all the Newcastle players are already for their precision training in Asia. And this guy is not part of that team. It has been reported that he has got a minor injury, a tie one. So, does it mean that he'll be going back to Newcastle United to start training with the guys? Of course, Newcastle United will be playing the Champions League. Liverpool will be playing the Champions League. And Liverpool are said to offer this guy a 6 years contract at Anfield. Can they be in position to convince this guy? Of course, the guy has given the green light that he's ready to play at Anfield. Of course, the atmosphere is really very, very genius at Anfield. The fortress is always working at Anfield when it comes to big moments. So, a player of his caliber, if he wants to cement himself, that's where I think he really needs to go. If he wants to win big trophies, there are some big clubs. They are known of winning trophies. Liverpool is among of them. Of course, Liverpool being the most successful club in England, I think with what he has got, he can offer something very good for Liverpool Football Club. And the project Ancelotti is having is something that I thought is going to be remembered at Anfield. Jurgen Klopp, in his first season, he never won trophy with Liverpool Football Club. And Ancelotti is the first Dutch coach at Anfield in his first season to win a trophy. Does send some signal. And his love, his relationship with the players is something that is very, very, very aggressive, and everyone is appreciating. That's a coach in the names of Ancelotti, and he has kind of masterminded the dressing room perfectly. We are going to see how Liverpool will be actually making amends the Premier League. Of course, they've let go other players in the names of Luis Diaz has crossed over to Bayern, who will be done in just number 14. Kwanzaa has crossed over to a team in the names of Bayer Leverkusen. They sold him expensively, academic graduate. Harvey Elliott is attracting interest from Newcastle. Liverpool is demanding actually a fee at the region of £60 million for Harvey Elliott. Liverpool, they know how to do business, and they're selling this player. Much as they did actually let go one of their biggest players in the names of Trent Arnold to Real Madrid. They've got the replacement for him, Frimpong. Offensively, Frimpong is okay, but when it comes to defensive abilities, I still doubt him. Of course, the first position that Liverpool Football Club played in, the guy was given, and his weaknesses were kind of exposed to some extent. That's a very Frimpong for you. Liverpool fans expect this guy to come and set the first. Don't run behind and say that he is the best. Yes, he is having that attributes. the best that he can offer for you is that offensive movement. But when it comes to that defensive abilities in him, the guy is really some classes are actually aside. That's a play in the names of Frimpong in for you. He's when they're playing the names of Fernando Wills. He scored his first goal in Liverpool stats, and he was given some good amount of money, around I think 100 something of that sort, actually for scoring his his first game for Liverpool. I mean his first goal for Liverpool and being the man of the match in that game. That's something that I thought I needed to let you know. And for Liverpool Football Club, Alexander Isak is the biggest that they are talking per now, and Mark Guehi is still on their radar. This is what I thought I really needed to give you, that you should be important to know some of the details about these players. And Liverpool are not the only team looking for his services. Saudi Pro League side, Al Hilal, wanted this guy. They wanted to give him £600 million per week, tax-free. The guy turned it down. He said he wants to play in Europe. Of course, a player of his caliber, I think he is really good to go. And I think, in my own view, Liverpool Football Club, if they have got the money, they can easily lure the services of this guy. And it has been reported that the latest price Newcastle may accept for a player in the names of Alexander Isak is £120 million. If Liverpool is to submit that bid, of course, Liverpool has never submitted a formal bid. These are just rumors, but rumors sometimes can turn to be true. So, the interest is for real. Liverpool wants him. And if players can be important to convince this guy, I think he can add something very good for Liverpool Football Club in there. So that's some of the things that I thought I really needed to give you some actually brief updates about in there. And one of the biggest stories is a player in the names of Paqueta. Lucas Paqueta. Remember, he was banned, of course, due to breaches of betting rules, and his breaches were down to yellow cards. One of the biggest was when he will actually predict that he will be getting a yellow card in this game, and this has been investigated, and he was kind of banned from playing football. And in this regard, the yellow cards that were kind of in that manner made him to miss a number of games for West Ham United, and finally his ban has been cleared, and Paqueta is ready to play for West Ham United again in the Premier League next season. And some of the teams that this guy has kind of involved himself into yellow card fracas, I can tell you it's really something that is really very, very bad for a player of his caliber. And he has offered something that is really uncalled for in the game of football. That's Lucas Paqueta for you. And coming back to limelight and coming back to play football is something that I thought is really very, very good for him. And he's a player who is kind of very actually workaholic in there for a team in the names of West Ham United. And when he was still playing down in Italy, he really actually have one of the biggest games. And West Ham actually signed him, and they thought that he was going to be an immediate impact for them, but he was charged and he was banned from playing football. And finally, his ban has been cleared by the FA of England football. So something that I thought I also needed to let you know about that. And one of the biggest news coming indicates that Team Sunderland Football Club have already agreed a deal to sign Mark Guehi on loan from Chelsea Football Club. Remember, Mark Guehi has not been having that playing time at Chelsea Football Club. According to the latest, that's 52 minutes ago, he is in position to sign for a team in the names of Sunderland Football Club, who have kind of attracted actually a number of Premier League players. Remember, Granit Xhaka, who has been playing for Bayer Leverkusen, has been signed by this team, Sunderland. And then they have gone for someone in the names of Mark Guehi, former of Chelsea Football Club. He is going to that team of Sunderland, and he's going on loan You understand? So with an option of buying him on permanent basis, that's Mark Guehi for you. So still about Chelsea Football Club, the reason we're getting indicates that they have already agreed terms already with Ajax for a player in the names of Gerard Hato. This guy will be coming to Chelsea Football Club. Expect Chelsea Football Club unveiling this guy very soon. That's a player in the names of Gerard Hato. With Xavi Simons also said to come at Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea Football Club are not really settled behind. They're into the transfer market, and they really wanted to make amends to see that Chelsea fights for trophies. And with all these youngsters that Chelsea Football Club is signing, I think Enzo Maresca is up for something. Remember, this show is probably being sponsored by Sabrima Global Vetters Limited here. Our time is up. Let's meet up again tomorrow, same time, same show. My name is Snr GEROH, the host of the show. Hey guys, we are really so glad that you're giving us that mileage, and we are always very proud. The viewership, I'm telling you, is really very massive, and we appreciate your time of always watching us here at Saturday TV. Catch us up again catch up again tomorrow, same time, same show. We shall be here to give you the best in the game of football. Remember, the football TV game, second leg is coming back over the weekend at Ombati Playgrounds, and it will be a team in the names of St. John's College Ombati welcoming back a team in the names of St. Charles Luanga, who had got an upper hand in that first half. In that first league advantage, they managed to beat them by goals. That goal was scored by Palmer in that 25th minute in there. Something that I thought I only needed to inform you about. Over the weekend, all roads leads to St. John's College Ombati there to see that you are covered in the game of sports. I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Up next is other interesting programs coming in here.
Our nation, our future, Uganda, and believe in the beautiful game of football in Uganda. We believe in our mother body. Fufa, Fufa. When the boys and girls aspire to become stars, of the Uganda queens and the crested queens and the sun queens. Come on, our fans, our gallant fans, our sponsors, our dear government, to support the beautiful game. One tribe, one family, one religion, one nation. It is our game, it's our country, it's our joy, it's our nation. The past and present stars, the fallen and living heroes, the coaches and referees.